Hi there, it's me again. You might have noticed I never actually uploaded that second chapter of the book that I was reading, and that's because I went over the video that I made several times of me talking about it, and I just tripped over my words way too much, and it was a little embarrassing. I know you don't care about that, but I thought I would take today as my day off and the first day of the year, Happy New Year's, to record a different video of me using my new embroidery kit. So that would be something a little different, and then I can give a little commentary in the background too. I was thinking about it, and the book that I read to you, the first chapter or so of the one, The Demon in the Freezer by, I think, Richard Preston, it gets pretty gross. By like chapter, I don't know which one I'm on right now because they're not numbered and I haven't been keeping track, but they're like maybe chapter 4 or 5. I kind of put it down, forgot about it, but it just gets really gross. So here's something a little more lighthearted. I've got these peel and stick embroidery fish, and I have a little piece of flannel. I bought about 2 yards of it a couple weeks ago, forgot about it, just put it in with my other sewing supplies, and now I'm getting around to it. So these are the ones to pick from. I thought maybe I'd pick something small to start off with. It seems like they have a couple identical versions of this in different sizes. So I'm gonna start off with one of these 2 medium-sized ones. And just cut that one out. They're supposed to work like stickers. So you just peel them and stick them on the fabric. It didn't say it recommended any particular kind of fabric. I'm kind of new to like fancy embroidery, like nice stitching and stuff like that. Never been taught one-on-one anything about it, so definitely a beginner here. And here's our little fish. Oops. So after you're done stitching these, the way that it's supposed to work is you put it in the wash, and these little papers, along with the glue that goes with it, just gets washed away. So all that's left is your embroidery thread. I'm gonna stick that right in the middle there. So I brought out some of my embroidery thread, but when I opened the package, it actually had some of its own in here, so I might use one of these instead. These were some of the ones that I picked out. I got this nice vibrant red here. It's a little tangled and about the same color as this one, so I might use the last of this and then go on to using that. Looks like some of it's already cut into smaller strips. And then I also had this kind of green, almost like green tea-ish, a little duller, I guess. And I had this nice orangey, brownish color. It looks more yellow on the camera. It's kind of dull in person. Another orange. I guess blue would be quite fitting. But, you know, for the sake of the white flannel, and, or rather, for the sake of my eyes, I'm gonna pick something that really sticks out. So, I think I'll just have that on the side. Yeah, this has a couple knots, been cuts in it. I'm probably gonna use that for a smaller project. I don't really want to run out of thread and then start using a different kind mid-project. I don't know quite how much this is going to take yet, so I'll just start with not much. Oh, and another thing, this came with its own needles too, and it looks like a threader. I have my own threader as well, but this one's cute. It's a little flower shape. So this one, it's also already bent. Needle threaders are kind of like this. It's very easy to damage them, and then have them difficult to use like this. I actually have on hand a little fancier tool. I don't know if you've seen this one, because I'm pretty sure I got it before the last time that you came to visit. But where did my other needle go? Just put it down. I didn't really do a lot of sewing while you were here because I was busy. And this is my hummingbird needle threader. If you can see up close, it has a little divot in the beak here. And so you would put the beak through the eye of the needle here, put your thread around here, and then pull it back, and it would thread the needle for you. This is more for smaller threads. For embroidery thread, it's a lot long. It's a lot like thicker. So we'll see if it works. But this didn't really come with a manual or anything. This is all it has. It says how to use. And if you'd like, you can pause here on this because there are quite a few strange spelling mistakes here. Like, I don't even know what this is supposed to say. Let dry on absorber sumas tiauto. Let dry on absorber sumas tiauto. No idea what that means. If I read this whole thing phonetically, it goes, cut out shopes. Arrange how you hike for your project. This is kind of how I talk when I'm trying to read. Use any color fobnik, preferably linen, denim cotton, tinny poterned fabric for richness, exclamation mark. Exclamation mark, that was me, that was not the manual. Peel off sticky from popper backing and lay onto the fabric and press down in place. Embroider whizzing 2 or 3 strands of stranded embroidery thread. Once embroidery is complete, soak in warm water for 15 minutes. Then with a small soft point brush, agitate to remove remaining stitchy and run under the tap gently. Gently. Awesome. I love it. It has a couple diagrams here on different stitches though. I'm probably still gonna look up YouTube videos of people doing them because these are usually kind of hard for me to follow. I'm also gonna turn on this lamp because it's a little dark over here. I was relying on the sunshine, but... Alright, I think this had said 2 or 3 strands of stranded embroidery thread for your project. That's under the stitches to try thing. Let's do 2 strands. You just unravel this whole thing. And it's 2 or 3, but I'm gonna go with 2. Just thread that through. See, it's a lot easier to thread through 2 strands than the entire thread. And try. It's not super clear what I'm supposed to be doing here, but in a way that's a good thing, because then I don't have any guidelines to grade myself by the end of it. It's just however it comes out is how it comes out. Just doing this for the love of the game. So I'm just knotting my thread here. And like that. Nice. So we have, here are the stitches that we have to choose from. First we have the running stitch, we have the back stitch, the whipped running stitch, the stem stitch, the fly stitch, the detached fly stitch. This one is unlabeled, actually, but it looks a little bit like a butthole, so that's what I'm gonna call it. That's the butthole stitch. Not very far off from the buttonhole wheel. Before that, though, we have the chain stitch and the detached chain stitch, the buttonhole flower, then we have the French knot here, we have a herringbone stitch, herringbone fill, and satin stitch. My sewing machine actually has a couple of these as settings on the dial here. So it has the satin stitch, and that's just the very close together tiny stitches that are more decorative, from what I understand. So what are we gonna start with here? I thought this would be more like, oh, use this stitch on this thing. No, it's just kind of like play by ear. So this, I'm gonna tighten this a little bit more. For the outside of the fish, it's like just a straight line. So I guess I would do something kind of close together, like a back stitch. I could do a whipped running stitch. I don't quite understand how this works. It looks like they just did a running stitch and then went back the other way and went all the way through it, and they sewed through the, if you want a visual reminder, looks like they just did this thing and then they went choo, 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 choo. I think I'm gonna start from the inside out and go for this little weird stitch in the middle. The booty hole stitch. I'm gonna start here. Looks like the diagram makes it look like they're going from the outside in versus the inside out. I don't know if that makes a difference, but that's what we're gonna try. Also trying to pull my fabric a little tighter because It's already kind of coming loose. Maybe flannel was not a great choice here, but I don't know. Definitely a lot stretchier than I thought. I'm just gonna kind of do that. I wonder if they make looms like this with like a grip on the inside so it doesn't slide, or the fabric doesn't slide. I wonder if there's a reason why you can't do that. I guess the fabric itself is supposed to keep it from slipping, but I don't know. Let's do middle stitch like that. So that is the first stitch. And then I'll just go in a circle pattern here, the outside. And just like that. Once more, on top of the star here. Out. In. The more you kind of consecutively do this, it gets easier to gauge where your needle is on the other side of the fabric. So, 2, 3, 4. Stitch number 5. One good thing about embroidery, at least with helpful little guides like this, is that unlike crocheting, I don't have to keep count, whether that be in my head or like a little clicker thing for a pattern. Crochet was always kind of difficult for me because I find it very difficult to count in my head up to like larger numbers. I always go like 1, 2, 3, 4. By the time that I get to like 30, I'm like 30, 39, wait, 31, 32, and it's like my brain will just like skip over numbers, and then I'll have to dial back and be like, wait, which one was I on again? Not exactly sure why that happens, but I do have an appointment with a psychiatrist within the next 2 months to talk about that. It's been a question that's been on my mind for, I mean, over a decade now. But it's very likely just the same answer that everyone keeps on saying it is, which is ADHD. I wonder a lot how ADHD meds or any kind of like focus medication could change the way that I think. It's like, it feels like it's such an integral part of who I am because it's how I experience the world. That like, I know a lot of people don't really like going on certain medication because they're like, oh, it doesn't make me feel like me, it made me like lose my sparkle or whatever, this, that, and the third. But I don't know, I think it's worth it, like, to just be happy and functioning as an adult in this life. Here's the first star. For this stuff, I don't know if you're supposed to just like end it and then knot it up, go to the next one, or if it's just like you move it to the next, but I'm gonna try and be safe here and just knot it at this star. Just a little loop-de-loop on the back. And then I have my seam ripper scissors in here, yes. It feels a little ridiculous bringing out something like this when you could be using this. Just cut that right there. I imagine even after taking something like Adderall or whatever else they might give you for focus, that it would still take a lot of effort on my part to kind of relearn, not relearn, but just like cement certain things in my head. Like, you know, I've always struggled with math and numbers and stuff like that. I would probably kind of try to go back through emotions with math and like try to teach myself stuff. Obviously, that takes a lot of discipline as someone who hates math, but you know, if I have the ability to like just sit down, do some little homework, and then actually retain that knowledge instead of sitting on it till a test is due, use all of it, and then it's gone the next day, I mean, that would really help me in adult life. So, you know, I think that would, it sounds like hard work, but it wouldn't be as hard if I got a little extra help on that. So, I'm looking forward to this new year. I think this will be a year of good things, good change, good health. It's the year that we move in together, of course. Just moving up in the world and growing up together. So I have a lot to look forward to. It's funny how like last year whenever things were really bad, I'd be like, remember what you're fighting for, like remember your future and stuff. And now it's become less of a like, oh, just get through this week, just get through this week, get through this month or whatever, and more of a like, I can't wait to get through this week or this month. Obviously, like, things could definitely be better, as far as like scheduling goes, as far as your job is concerned. But they're certainly not the worst they could be. I think we're on good track for money and saving, and I don't have any like big bills that I'm kind of putting off right now or anything. I've already paid off everything last month, so I don't really have to worry about paying electricity until like 2 or 3 paychecks later. So I've already taken care of that. It's a very fresh feeling to enter the new year with like a lot of time left on your plate. It reminds me, I think my electric bill is due when I'm going to be out of town visiting you and your family, actually. This new year, though, as far as resolutions go, I'm really trying to separate myself from screens and from my phone. I suppose mostly social media. I definitely have a problem with that being such a big part of my routine. You know, like, it's very easy to just kind of get sucked into my phone, like, first thing in the morning. And I was, like, thinking about it today, like, man, I can probably count on my fingers how many times this year alone I've woken up and the first thing I did was not get on my phone. Like, I really, you know, it's just right there, and if I don't pick it up, I usually go back to sleep. It's like, first thing in the morning, what I want is some form of, like, stimulus, which is not healthy. Obviously, it's hard to wake up and be like, I'm gonna read a book, but, because that's, like, what I do to fall asleep. But, you know, today, I woke up around that time. I heard the FaceTime thing go off, so that must have been when you were going to work. And I was like, okay, I gotta get up. And I journaled a little bit, just talking about what I would like to do, what goals I'd like to set for myself in this year, and what I'd like to do for today alone. That's really what I started with. Just simple things like put away your laundry, open a new box of contacts, write up a check for rent, drop it off, um, read a little bit today. I do need to read it. Not that book necessarily, the one that I bought kind of recently, but I got one for Christmas, which I do believe I showed you, and it was one of the books from Frankie's shelf that he reviewed, Manhunt, which is about that post-apocalyptic scenario where people are killing men to get estrogen from their balls because there's like some kind of virus, like apocalyptic scenario where everyone with like enough testosterone in their body is like turned into this like raging fiend, and they like lose themselves. So the like two main protagonists are trans women, and they're hunting men who are like zombies essentially. And then from what I've heard, there's like a trans man character too, which is kind of interesting because if testosterone is what's making people turn into these monsters, then it's like, how is he surviving? What is he doing? But I remember I was listening to his review of it, kind of like while I was at work, so I wasn't fully paying attention. And of course, he's not going to cover every single thing that happens in that book. So I'm kind of glad that I wasn't fully paying attention, because now I get to experience the book myself. I did get this in a paperback, which, as you know, my preferred reading format is Kindle, so I might have to break out. I don't know if I still have them, but at some point I owned reading glasses, and part of why I read on the Kindle is because of my eyesight. So I might be breaking those out. Also came with these cute, like, faux leather bookmarks that I got for Christmas. Yeah, we're almost done with the third star here. I like that this is kind of a meditative, like, process. Like, it takes a very long time, but there's no rush here. What to do? I imagine, like, in the future with embroidery and stuff like this, because obviously I'm not going to keep on buying peel and stick patterns. If I want to keep doing this, I'll probably just use, like, a chalk pencil on fabric, and then that'll wash away. I think the benefit of using something like this is, one, it's already like symmetrical, you don't really have to worry about drawing it out, but two, the chalk can very easily smudge when you're like holding the fabric like this. So especially for bigger designs where you're kind of moving your hands around a lot, obviously you just have to hold the frame, but it just makes it a little easier. Just not this. And I think wanting to quit something like social media really puts into perspective how big of a part, how like ingrained it is in your life. Because I like could not stop thinking like, oh, I kind of want to grab my phone right now. I want to grab my phone before I go do this, and it's like, well, I don't have to. You know, why do I want that so bad? And it's like, I noticed today how many times I was like sitting down and I was like, what am I waiting for? Like, just get in the car Go drive to Metairie. There's nothing stopping you right now. Why do you have to be on your phone? It's just because I don't want to do something immediately. It's just not good. Everyday life should not feel like a chore. Especially when it's something nice like getting in your newly cleaned car. Which smells very nice, and listening to music that you like. Just become very, like, I don't know, I think I take a lot of things for granted. We're on star 4 now. I'm struggling a little bit to get this to go through. There's 5 stars total, so we are more than halfway done. Oh wow, we've already gotten to 30 minutes. Yeah, we're not finishing this in one video. But I guess I'll end this after I finish this star here, and then I'll make another video of me talking and updating you on my thoughts in life. And we can finish the fish together. We have just 3 more prongs here. And the star. Alright, just gonna knot that last part up. Oh wow. It's kind of messy on the back. That's fine. You're not gonna see the back anyway. Boom. Look at that. 4 stars. And it only took me 30 minutes. I suppose minus all the yapping beforehand. But this has been a extensive video, so I'm gonna end things off here and try to put a little cute intro in the beginning or something, and I will see you after you get out work tonight. Love you.
Jesus Christ, what is that? What is that?
I don't know.
Alan, grabbed it.